show. For music trivia, 3 rounds in store. It's head to head, who's going to war? Are you ready to settle the score? I said, are you ready to settle the score?
Hey, welcome into another week, I guess, of Settle the Score. I'm your host, Matt Nose, joined as always by the musical director, the one and only Mr. Andy Merriweather. How are you, buddy?
I'm good, thanks, Matt. I spent the day in Oxford, and we live like basically in the country here. And I don't know if you have this. I mean, you live in LA, so it's probably completely different. But I get like what I describe as city throat, where it's like scratchy after spending time in in a center. Like if I go to London, it's just like the dust and everything, because we're out in the country, so it's a lot of oxygen, obviously. So yeah, I feel that now. Even though I know it's not like it's not an illness, it's not going to be like a bug that brings me down. I can just feel that I inhaled a lot of like street today. So,
I mean, it sounds psychosomatic.
Oh,
but
well, no,
perhaps it's not.
I can't shake it. No, it happens like London's, an extremely old town, and you can, literally like dust your shoes off when you get home. And Oxford's obviously pretty old, and the buildings are old and everything. It's beautiful, but I always feel like this, like I need to hydrate after I've been in the city.
Well, hopefully your throat. I mean, thankfully we're not going to be taxing it today.
Yeah, exactly.
So it worked out, and yeah, we didn't want to just not have a show, so we had a show scheduled for last week that got canceled, and then we had a show scheduled for this week that had to be rescheduled for illness. So rather than just put up another announcement of like, oh, hey, no show this week, we figured we'd meet up. There's stuff from patrons. If people in the chat, we got some people in the chat so far. If they want to jump in like with any kind of questions or possible requests, go right ahead. But we figured, do this as opposed to just putting out a quick 1.5, 2-minute video explaining, hey, there's no show this week. Give you at least something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Just unfortunately, we had 2 shows lined up and both shows didn't work out for various reasons. So, we're here doing this.
Yeah, exactly. It's been a long time since we just did something like this, where we kind of did some live admin and caught up on chat and things like that. And it did tell the patrons that we were kind of getting together and that we would look to be responding live to their kind of suggestion box efforts and, any questions and stuff like that. So I have a bunch from the WhatsApp. I know the Discord that, they're constantly populating that, and, that probably needs catching up on. So yeah, I can dive into that whenever. I have got the chat open as well. So anybody on YouTube, obviously, I'm assuming you have something similar. So yeah. So, well, first of all, how are things with you? We didn't even talk about how you are. How are things over there?
I'm good. Yeah, part of the scheduling issues, I've been out of town a decent amount over the past couple of weeks. So my recording windows have been much smaller than normally. Normally, there's some flexibility in there, but went skiing at 2 different places, and it sucks because like I just left somewhere, and the day we were leaving, they're getting 2 feet of snow that night. And you're like, that sucks. That's fresh snow is always the best.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you've never been.
No.
Yeah, fresh snow is hands down infinitely better.
Okay. So what sort of what was the timeline of the stuff you skied on? Like, when did that fall, I guess?
The first place I went to, which was Sun Valley, it's in Idaho, and they hadn't gotten snow. So basically it has been an uncharacteristically dry winter for all the
Okay.
mountains.
All right.
So to put it in perspective, I went to Sun Valley and I went to Deer Valley. I know Deer Valley stats. By the time I got there, they've gotten 99 inches total of snowfall. Usually by this point in the season, they're at 250.
Right.
So there's certain sections of the mountain that just aren't open, which doesn't affect probably like 60 to 70% of the people that go there. But I like to ski the whole mountain. So that affects me more. They're going to close down a lot of the stuff that I would do. So the fresh snowfall, then more than likely, if they got 2 feet, that's going to open up everything that wasn't open by that next day, more than likely. They got to get ski patrol on it, make sure there's no avalanche threats and whatnot. Yeah, it's that there is legitimately avalanche threats in certain sections of the mountain. I mean, it's not like you're skiing out of bounds.
Yeah.
So even if there is an avalanche, there's a finite amount of area that they're going to be searching for and stuff like that. Tracker in my pants, but that's never in a million years have I come across a situation where.
Oh, you do? You have a track? You have like a.
Yeah, I've got one, but it just came with the pants. It's not like I went out separately and bought it.
Oh,
yeah,
cool. Okay.
It's just part of the pants.
Right.
It's not part of every pair of pants. I got, I bought a basically it's like anything, whether it's your instruments or any hobby you have, you used to play football, you buy a nicer pair of cleats because you'll get more use out of them.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah.
So it's like I bought a nicer pair of, I have nicer, you just accumulate the stuff over the years. Like, oh, it's time to replace this. And then you buy that. So it's a nicer pair of pants, but yeah, it just came with it in there. I never once used it. Or
yeah,
had
that makes
need
sense.
of it.
Yeah. Back when I played football, it was this will age me now if anybody has sort of an idea of when things happen, but I never wore a synthetic pair of football boots. It was still kangaroo calf leather back then, and not nice, but you didn't really know any different. It was just what that was the football boot that was available. Adidas Predators were kangaroo calf, and obviously that's been outlawed now. But it was almost comparable to the iPhone cycle where there's every year there's a September drop or whatever, but the second year that you've had your iPhone, suddenly the battery dissipates, everything goes wrong. The iOS updates, there's this conspiracy that they wreck the phone to sort of almost force you to upgrade your phone. Every year you needed a new pair of football. Even the highest end football boot would start to tear. Of course, you need to. And I don't know. I think synthetic ones last much, much longer. But that was the joys of proper leather football boots, which definitely ages me. I feel old just talking about that. But
can you not get any leather boots anymore?
No.
Oh, okay.
There are people that there are Instagram accounts that I follow that trade in old football boots, especially the old Predators, because they're just so beautiful. That's like the young Beckham range, and hundreds and hundreds of pounds, because obviously they're discontinued. There's only a few.
Yeah.
So I have a pair. That I've cleaned up, and they're kind of like held because they're
display pair. Did you actually wear these?
Yeah. I had to like get the mud off them and everything, but yeah, legacy pair, and they are like, you can see the leathers all. It looks like an old leather jacket, But yeah, beautiful pair of boots. And I follow the Instagram account not to, engage in any buying, because I don't have money to throw away. I do it. It's purely aesthetic. It's like every so often they post a pair, and I'm like, oh, look how beautiful. It's just like one of those things where I don't know if there's any old, basketball jerseys or anything like that in your world where you're just like, there's such nostalgia in the image of it. Like, just
sure,
there's this game that people play with regards to football. You hold up the front of a kit, which obviously doesn't have any of the unique player ID on. It's all on the back. And you say, who is this player? And people have an image in their mind of they can see that player wearing that kit, right? And everyone has the same answer. Hold that kit up like a, the old black and yellow sharp view cam United kit, and everyone just goes, that's Eric Cantona. Like all you can see is Eric Cantona wearing that kit. Everyone has the same answer. I kind of like that kind of thing. I'm assuming there's something similar to like, maybe like the 90s, like white. I mean, if it's Bulls, you're probably looking at Jordan anyway. But you know what I mean? Like there's certain people you just see in that jersey.
Yeah. There'll be specific ones. But since Nike took over the NBA's uniform manufacturing, they'll do throwbacks and all that stuff and bring back old logos and whatnot. But it just reminds you of, like, you see an old Raptors one and you think Vince Carter.
Right.
Or you see like the old Spurs and I just think David Robinson and stuff like that. That's just the first image that conjures from those specific logos.
Exactly. The synonymous with, exactly. Yeah. So there's stuff like that. And I just do it purely because it's kind of those glory days of when I could run. I can't anymore. But yeah. So I get you. You like, I am totally an advocate for like you spend what you get in terms of quality.
Yeah, for all that stuff, like all my anything like that, I will buy the specific version I want. So in my ski gear, but you don't do it all in one fell swoop. You just, I need to replace this time. But a lot of my stuff, like my pants, I replaced 3 years ago, and I'll probably use them for another 7-8 years. My jacket, I've gotten like 12 years of use out of. My gloves, like 7 or 8, but it's all expensive. None of it's cheap. So that is the one nice thing. Like my gloves were like $120. They're fucking gloves, but they keep my hands warm. They're amazing in the elements. They're tough. They've held up. It's worth the $120.
Totally.
So all that stuff. It's all very expensive. And then the lift tickets now have gotten to absurd levels that, I mean, they're pricing out.
What are you saying? Lift tickets to get on the ski lift?
Yeah, to get on the ski lift. So you have to buy basically a day's pass. They're called lift tickets. But now basically anywhere you ski, if you just got, it's the equivalent of 4 to 5 days lift tickets as a season pass. And that season pass is good at like 50 mountains across the US, 60 mountains.
Oh, okay.
So if you're going to ski more than 5 days, like this year, I should have done it already.
Right.
Next year, I probably will. It's so stinking. It used to be, it's like, I had to ski like 10, 12 days to make it justifiable. And now it's like 5, 4, 5.
Yeah. And is there any, who are you feeding with? Do you sort of think of it as like, not only am I getting, I don't have to consider paying for each individual, excursion or whatever, but is there any benefit are you seeing to, like, for example, over here, I might do a season of like a certain zoological park, not because I'm going to visit it and get the benefit of that, but because the conservation is of importance or something like that. Are you seeing like, okay, the upkeep of these sets of ski resorts, or is it just, are you just feeding someone very rich? Is that the kind of, you just
100%. You're feeding someone very rich in a large corporation.
Right.
There is a slight portion of every season pass and lift ticket that goes to conservation of the mountain, but a lot of these are built on national parks.
Okay.
So the government gives them the land. They've got to rent it or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
But some of these have been there 50, 60, 70 years. So it's like, you're never taking this away from them. But yeah, it's owned by huge corporations. And as much as I like your altruistic answer, unfortunately, it's going to some billionaire somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, again, to bring it back to football, like you might have a season ticket to your hometown club just to sort of keep it, because it definitely needs every single patron, to survive. Whereas like, the the wait list to be a United season ticket holder, people have to die, and that club don't need the money.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the super huge clubs, that makes sense. Whereas for lack of a better example for me, Wrexham before the Hollywood Bros got there, like that seems like a very small team that was entirely reliant on their local fan base to keep them afloat.
Yeah.
Now they've got other corporate sponsorship and whatnot bringing.
I know. It's so funny in the series, which I love. I love the show, but it's so funny in the series when they really try and amp up the drama of like not obtaining something in order to get the revenue benefit. So it'll be like, if we don't get promoted this year, we're looking at another $1 million in costs, and it's like you just know it doesn't matter to you guys. It doesn't matter. I don't know if certain elements of the audience are going to go like, God, that does sound like it's a lot of money in there. But it just doesn't. That money is nothing compared to what you guys earn, and compared to the football pyramid. It's true. They're dramatizing it to make you feel the impact of like not getting something or getting promoted. So like there were conversations about, if we get promoted, we're going to need a better team, we're going to need a bigger stadium, and it doesn't matter. They've got sponsorship deals coming out of their ass. It's unbelievable how much they have going on. Everyone wants to partner with them. It's unbelievable.
I mean, you have two famous people, one very famous person.
Yeah.
Coupled with a successful television show.
Extremely big brand now, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was the first billboard I saw when I arrived in LA was "Welcome to Wrexham," which is
really?
It's just insane. Yeah, coming out of the airport. Yeah.
Just insane. Well, you have a different to us it's that's a TV show, and it just means that.
Yeah.
Whereas it has more than one meaning for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never been to Wrexham. It's quite far from us in terms of the way people travel here wouldn't be, you just wouldn't go to Wrexham on a whim. But it's unbelievable how
I love that.
Popular it is
how
now.
Far is it?
4 hours.
Okay, that's legit.
Is it 4.5 hours? Yeah.
Yeah, like I contemplated driving to Utah at one point, but I found a cheap flight. But it was 9.5 hours if there's no traffic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've spoken about this before. I think the longest Anna and I drove to Scotland with the kids, and it was we broke up the journey because it was just we stayed overnight halfway, and I think that was 7 hours. Stayed overnight in Manchester, which is 3.5 hours away. Yeah.
I drove to Vegas and back in a day once, which it's 4 hours there, 4 hours back.
Oh, just no way. Yeah, it is just different. I don't know what is that. I mean, it must just be relativity. It must be like what's usual. Like, yeah, Oxford and back today felt like a slog, and that's an hour.
Hours.
I mean, hours like LA for you.
Yeah, depending at certain times of day. Yeah.
Yeah. And
just
just to get across town or whatever. Yep. Some people, like when I had dinner with Mark Haas, and he was, he had like an hour drive home. He like lives in the same town, but like, or whatever, I don't know what it was, but we finished dinner, and he's like, I should shoot because of his drive. And I was like, my town here that, the town that I actually live in, which is a subset village of the bigger town.
Mm-hmm.
This town is 5 minutes long. Like you can literally walk it. It's no problem. But this is a village. But then the main town, 15 minutes from north to south. And it's considered a little bit big compared to some other towns. So yeah.
It's also
a completely different world.
A culture difference in that no one takes public transit here in LA. Other major cities, they do. So everybody's in a car. So you're fighting through traffic because everybody's in a car.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that is true. So like, I guess I've traversed the whole of New York in a day. Like I mean, I don't not the whole of New York, but obviously the city, and that's not that crazy, is it? Like to go from sort of I'm just talking about really like the main sort of tourist trap, but like say Central Park to the finance district. That's like
Okay.
that's nothing, right? Like people would walk that in New York. I think.
I'd assume so. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. That's probably comparable. Yeah, maybe public transport is a bigger deal, but yeah, yeah, it just feels scale wise, just feels completely different. I remember when I was in Vegas, I decided to. I thought I don't know why it must have been money or something like that, but I decided to walk from the
No
casino.
chance.
That I was like, what? I literally got
During the day?
yeah, I
No
literally
chance.
I stopped. I think I stopped like 1 or 2 blocks into that effort and jumped in a taxi. I don't even think Ubers were a thing, but yeah, I think I jumped in. I just hailed a taxi and took the taxi the rest of the way because I felt extreme. It felt very hard.
Yeah, depending on what time you're there,
Yeah,
it's just too hot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I like walking here. I'll do walks of things that you probably wouldn't normally do. It'd be much more efficient to get in the car, but I'll do the walks. I like it sometimes, right? And that's all I had in my mind at that point was, yes, what 6? I don't know what it was, like 6 blocks away or something like that. And I was like, just a completely different climate.
I mean, yeah, I've done that in the wintertime there, and it's fine. You know, it's a lovely day to be out for a walk, but if it's summer, no chance whatsoever. I am finding some sort of transport option because walking in this is not happening.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. So we do have
Is the chat blowing up, as they say? It's just
we got some questions in the chat.
Okay. You look at that. I'm gonna get the WhatsApp stuff ready.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll answer one that's directed at me, and then once you're done with the WhatsApp, I will direct one at you.
I'll just get these like lined up.
From Vulcan Nerd, it said, Matt, outside of California, what places have you skied, and where are your favorite places in other states? So I've skied most of Colorado. There's just a couple places in Colorado that I haven't been to. So, I mean, I haven't been to Aspen, Crested Butte, and like a couple others, but I have been to just about everything else Colorado has to offer. Steamboat, Breckenridge, Winter Park, Telluride, what used to be called Purgatory, Vail, Beaver Creek, A Basin. I could keep going. I've skied just about everywhere in Colorado. And then Big Sky up in Montana, just did Sun Valley. I've done Park City and Deer Valley in Utah. Whistler up in British Columbia. I've done some skiing in West Virginia. And then California, I've been to a few here. My favorite is probably Vail, just because it's so massive. You could spend days on end, but the back bowls and then the Blue Sky Basin, nobody goes that far over there. And the snow is, so long as they've gotten snow in a relatively short distance from when you've been there. So in the past few days, there's tons of fresh powder over in Blue Sky Basin. Vail's probably my favorite. After that, probably say Steamboat. But I love Big Sky too. Big Sky was incredible. It just sucks there because if you want to go to the very top, you have to have somebody with you. You're not allowed to go solo, and nobody I was with would go with me. So I did the chutes, the whatnot, where you can take a lift up and then scale the ridge and then go down the chutes. I did those, but I couldn't go up to the very top. So I am looking forward to going back to Big Sky because normally I go with my dad and other family members, but my dad is, at this point, he skis blues and sometimes greens, and those are blacks and double blacks, and he's just not going to do it anymore. And I don't blame him. I like the fact that at his age, he's still up there, skiing with the rest of us. So yeah. And then in California, I've done all of Tahoe and Mammoth, but I haven't done Big Bear yet, which is kind of weird. It's close drive. But all right, you ready for your question?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, your question, Andy. What position did you play in footy? And Vulcan Nerd said, I played defender and defensive midfielder primarily in the 3-5-4-2 formation.
3-5-4-2. 3-5-2?
Pardon me, 3-5-2.
That feels like it would have been more recently. People back when I was playing, three defenders was just unheard of. 3 at the back. That's a very Vulcan Nerd. Let me know if that's within the last. That feels like it would have been within the last 10 years, and that I predate that. So I was always a winger. So I was quick. I grew up on Ryan Giggs. Really, he was my hero. So like, if anybody knows, like, if you can sort of put an amateur version of that template, so extremely showboaty, skillful, and fast. And then as my legs got older, I moved in. So I basically became a sort of a number 10, a striker. I sat behind the striker. So me and one of my best friends, Andy Willis, was a number 9, like an out and out, just score from anywhere guy. And I was like his playmaker.
Okay.
Because I didn't have the legs to sort of get up and down the wing. So I became that. So it was sort of a slower, more sort of more of a thinker role. And I guess because I had a lot of I was very showboaty in my football. So I guess like Ronaldinho would be the closest in style. Obviously, one of the world's best. I'm not comparing myself to him just in terms of just template.
Sure.
So yeah, started out like even like, and I grew up with a dad who he filmed everything. My dad. So I have a lot of like game tape, as they say, and even footage of me when I'm 6 or 7 that I've now watched as an adult. I've watched as a retired footballer adult, and I've gone, oh, if that was I don't know, if that was my 6 or 7-year-old, I'd be like, there's something. Very, very quick. And yeah. And I wasn't like super skinny or anything like that. I was just I could just move. And then the skills were always there. And I came up just around the time when sort of torrented videos were happening. People were downloading, and it was like dial-up, but people were downloading skills, and it felt like there were only a handful of us across the world that were really doing these skills. And then Nike started doing those adverts with pro footballers doing like cage matches and skills and stuff like that, and suddenly these underground sports, football adjacent sports, were becoming known, stuff that I had been involved in, like futsal, which is the weighted size 4 ball, and it was all about skills. And then Joga Bonito, which is you sort of get bonus points in addition to scoring if it involves skills, if it involved putting the ball through someone's legs on route to goal and stuff.
Okay.
So these kind of tournaments I was part of a little bit, and it really was just before that kind of exploded. And it exploded because a 17-year-old Cristiano Ronaldo signed for Man United for £9 million. No one. I remember my cousin messaging me saying Ronaldo signed for Man United, and I was like, "What?" Because he knew what he was doing. In the provocative message was making me think that Luis, the Brazilian Ronaldo, R9, had signed for Man United, and of course it was this young chap that no one had heard of, and he changed. Cristiano Ronaldo changed everything. The way he played, no one had played football like that before. And that was the explosion of like skillful football in game. Before that, skills were kept like very, I guess it would be comparable to like someone bringing in extremely competent like street ball into NBA. That's what it was like.
Okay.
So like you have like street ball and you do tricks and like, maybe roll it around your chest or like spin a ball or whatever, off the knee, little flicks and stuff. And obviously there were players in the NBA that implemented this kind of stuff. Like even from my limited knowledge, I saw different tricks and stuff. But it was like before that, football was traditional, and then suddenly Cristiano came in and changed it all. And that was at the tail end of my. So Cristiano and I are exactly the same age. We're 4 months apart, but but I had to tap out of making it. So I was, I would have been on my way to like semi-professionalism just as my legs started to tell me you're not going to be able to do anything here. So I dropped back into like Sunday league, Saturday league football, as he was making it. So like, yeah, by 19, you already know you're never ever going to make it. You of course you know you'd have been picked up by a club at 12 at least, right? So like,
especially as young as they can sign kids there. For
exactly, yeah. So it felt like all those skills and all those videotapes of my dad filming me in the garden doing tricks and submitting them online, and there were like, it just felt like there was a handful of people in the world doing this stuff. And then at the tail end of that, it all exploded. Like it was like missing out on YouTube. That's what it felt like. It's quite unusual. So yeah. But yeah, so to answer the question, Jesus Christ, I went around the houses a little bit. But yeah, I was a winger all my life, and then became a number 10. And if Vulcan Nerd has replied, I can't imagine he was in a 3-5-2.
4-3-3.
4-3-3. But like, I just mean like it must have been fairly recently.
I said we had an unorthodox coach, and that 3-5-2 would morph into sweeper 3-1-3-2 or 4-4-2, 4-4-3, and odd variations.
Okay. Well, yeah. All right. Yeah. So, and obviously in England, it was 4-4-2 right up until way into the 2000s. 4-4-2 traditional. Like moving to one striker was just a completely unheard of until into maybe the 2010s. I think someone could correct me on that, but yeah, it felt like it's a modern. Also, formations, like even people talk about formations, which wasn't a thing. I don't know. Yeah, it just wasn't a thing. Now it's like an obsession of people to talk about what formation teams are playing in. It just wasn't a thing for a very long time because every team played 4-4-2 until you went and played in Europe, and then you saw like Spanish teams playing different styles of football. Things like that.
There's so much more information that.
Yeah. Exactly, and there's a lot more international travel in football as well. So like coaches would have basically all managers were from their country, and and now even the England manager right now is German. I mean, it's just like it wouldn't have been a thing.
Yeah,
before. Okay, so I've got a couple. I do have some people writing some stuff in the WhatsApp group. Just a reminder, if you do want to be a part of this, this is a group of people in what's called the Context Clues group, but not everyone's in there distributing clues. Some people are just in it for the fun and the chat, which it is. And more recently, has this come up on the show that's aired? I think so. But more recently, we've tasked them with trivia questions, right? So
yeah.
Instead of them offering clues for films, they've come up with round 1 trivia, which they've enjoyed, I think. So if the idea of giving clues scares the crap out of you, there is now another element which will be on rotation in that group. So yeah. So Houston, and I think it's ironic that it's him that's proposing this as a suggestion box. I would propose a champions tournament. He says he likes the fact that our show is chill, but he thinks there should be like an ultimate tournament bracket. I think he's suggested because he knows he'd win, but but that's his thing. He wants us to have a conversation about actually having a tournament that I guess, based on his question, would not be chill. An actual
no, he's asking for a serious competition.
Yes, exactly. And then interestingly, as I read on, Mnet's sort of follow-up suggestion is Houston versus a topic specialist. So that's, I guess, the pedigree that Houston's being held at. That's the pedestal he's on with the group, is that they think Houston should.
Well,
he can only face someone in a specialist category. Like
full disclosure, we've had a discussion. I'm not going to say who, but we were going to reach out to Houston, see if he wanted to play someone specifically.
Yeah.
So yeah, it said, as far as a Champions League, how are we determining who's a champion, who's not? Are we saying this is patrons only? Are we opening this up to any of our regular guests that are above a certain tier?
Yeah, I like the idea of this kind of like well, it could be interesting over here. Do you know the FA Cup? I know
the name of it, yeah.
The FA Cup. So in the FA Cup there are 2 rounds that happen before the Premier League teams enter. So rounds 1 and 2 of the FA Cup are all those League 1, League 2, National League, non-league, all the, because there's like 15 tiers on the, I think most people know the Premier League, but then there's the Championship, League 1, League 2, then the National League, and then it goes down into National League North and South, and all these teams have a chance to play in the FA Cup, and obviously they filter out as they go. Like Wrexham are still in it, which is crazy because they've played their round 3 game, I believe. Yeah, so they play their round 1 and round 2. Whoever comes through from those first 2 rounds then get drawn against anyone, and it includes the Premier League teams entering.
Yeah.
So then you could have like, I don't know who would be obscure enough, but like say Torquay United, right? This little non-league team, if they've managed to fight their way through rounds 1 and 2, are suddenly up against Chelsea, which is amazing. Like, and especially if they get a home game, because it's like a 2,000-seater stadium, whereas Chelsea play, at Stamford Bridge, which is 30,000. United's is 75,000. They have to, you get those elite players coming and playing on like horrible, muddy, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So I could see it being that, where like we get a preliminary patrons tournament and then the big guns come to play later on in the tournament. You get like a boom, and then you get, Matt Scanlon's made his way through and suddenly he's up against Dan Merle, and Grevner's coming in against Levine and things like that. I love that idea of this kind of like merge of worlds where for one slick month-long tournament thing, I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, all I'm thinking about is putting those shows together and how much of a nightmare that is.
Yeah, that's the side of it that I don't get involved with. So that sucks for you, yeah.
Well, especially once you put patrons into the mix, because for the longest time I was going through at the top of the sheets, I just have, for a regular show, I have listed on there who's on the show. And for the patrons, I didn't start at the beginning to list. So then I have to go back to the YouTube descriptions to find. And then I was going through and be like, making sure that I wasn't repeating. And then it got to the point where like, if I do this for these shows, the shows are going to be impossible because we have 4 people on and we're going to try and exclude all the movies they've used that we've used because they've been on several times. Just like, well, there's 400 movies or so out the gate. So just like I threw that rule out for the patrons, but we'd have to reinstitute that rule to some degree with them. I'm not against it. It's just like, this is going to be a lot of work.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah. So we need like a production assistant. I think that would be the ideal. Someone cheap and handy. But yeah, I do like the idea for sure.
Yeah, I'm not against it. It's fun because then we could have it like we schedule 1 or 2 a month as we're building up to whatever the big tournament type of thing is. The only problem with that is if scheduling issues come up, that could basically delay, but then we'll just put something else in its place. Just hopefully it's not like this situation where we were ahead on shows and now we're behind.
Exactly.
Which is unfortunate, but it happens. It happens.
Yeah. In principle and in theory, I love the idea of something big for the Settle the Score world. Yeah, I even think that I don't know. It's tough to say. With everything that I've got going on, with my exams, I've got one more year of, um, and an 18-month-old, and obviously not forgetting the soon-to-be 4-year-old in 9 days. I feel like I need to get out of a certain season, of my life in order to start really like once these exams are out the way. You know, I cannot even fathom how much free time I'm going to have. I mean, I won't have free time. I still have children, but just just less will matter. So, like, if you were like, do you want to stack up episode? Let's do 2 on Tuesday. I could handle stuff because I'm not like the way I've described these exams. It's not just about the study time. It's literally like brain power. So, like, even when I'm not studying, I'm just my brain's working the whole time, even just to not forget stuff or thinking about the next time I'm going to be able to sit down and lock in. It's so all encompassing. It has affected it's really, really hard. I don't recommend doing anything in the professional exam world whilst having children. It's been tough, but and then not forgetting the fact that I have yeah, I got to get rid of them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, ship them off to grandma and grandpa. You can watch them till they're 10.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem. It's pretty obvious, but I love them so much. I can't there are times when I don't want to miss out on things. So Anna will give me whole days to study, and I'll take the kids off, and we'll go and do this. We'll go to this park and spend a whole day there, and blah blah blah. And I don't want to miss that. It's like I know you're doing me a favor, but I'm just guilty. I just want to be there with them. Like
yeah.
It's horrible. There's no the compromise doesn't even exist. I just want to be around them. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough. You never feel like you're given enough. But anyway, what are we talking about? Tournaments. Next thing on. I'm not going to get too deep.
Well, here I got a question from the chat from Mike McKenzie. Any chance of a game themed show?
Absolutely, I would love to do. I have. I don't know if we have a shortlist, but I have tons of ideas for that.
Full disclosure, I reached out to. So a friend of mine is, I guess you would like it. Part of the way he makes a living is he kind of does content and reviews video games, and he's got a huge following. And when we had this idea a long time ago, I reached out to him, and he's like, let me see if I've got time in my schedule. And then it was kind of like, I could do it in 3 months, 4 months. And I was like, okay. And then I checked back in with him. He's like, why don't we push it for another 3 months? Because it was just, I got to go to this con and I got to go to this event.
Right.
And he's constantly in and out of town doing stuff for that. We have had the thought. Because you could do it by era as well. Make it really easy. We do a whole theme of it. We have two of our previous guests reached out and want to do a TV theme show, and we're talking about doing that. There's a trailer music show in the works.
Yeah, it was one of the trailer music. Yeah. Who was it that was heavily into trailer music? JT is a big trailer music guy, I think.
No, it was somebody I just texted you about it not too long ago. Well, they really proposed it. Yeah, but I'm sure there's others. I'm sure there's tons of people that know, movie trailer music just as well as the movies.
Yeah, JT is the one guy I can think of that on at least 2 occasions has, during an episode of Settle the Score, said, I know that was in the trailer for such and like he had that kind of element. But yeah, TV show themes came up on WhatsApp. Are we doing that? And that's definitely in the works.
Yeah, we've already got basically the guests for that one. So that one's happening, and then the trailer one is happening. The trailer one I could see us doing a lot ultimately.
So I just looked on our sheets, on our Google Sheets, and I have a shortlist for video games that's about I reckon about 30 strong in the scores and about 15 strong in songs. So I'll go back through the live chat if you guys want to add in any. I mean, it has to be reasonable. It can't be too deep cut. Like consider the show, but yeah, any suggestions for video game scores or songs for me to add to the shortlist? Obviously, I made this at some point. It hasn't been updated since 2021. That was the last time.
Yeah, but I mean, with something like that, we could do classic NES as one show by itself, just like 80s NES, 80s Atari, 90s Sega, late 90s, early 2000s PlayStation, early Xbox. Like it's the possibilities for the shows is, there's tons to choose.
Unbelievable. From. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, hit us up with suggestions. That match is definitely in the future. Have you got anything else on your end? I got a bunch.
I have tons of comments. I don't see any specific questions, but I can go scroll through.
Okay, let me throw one out. So, Grebner says we've kind of touched on it a little bit. Round robin style scornament, like best of 5, with the top 2 competing in a full game. We've done something. I mean, all the scornaments are kind of around that idea. I guess we have done something similar. I feel like we did do a round robin once upon a time. Maybe not. Okay, big message from Houston here. I'll just read out. So he says, the TV show intros. He said, he also says, can we get another medley from Andy again of 5 themes played into one song? Yeah, all right. Work on that. What did I do that for?
It was for a Scornament show. I can't remember. It was that a round 3 one?
Oh, it must have been round 3, and they had to do it. They had to name all 5 in one go or whatever.
Yeah, something along those lines.
But how do we include that up? I remember doing something. I think I remember that it had Terminator in it.
I can't remember specifically because it's been a minute since we've done it.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of fun ideas that we've done. Like I enjoyed the Jeopardy show, but I don't think either of us ever wants to put another show like that together again.
You mentioned the Jeopardy show. What are you considering to be the Jeopardy? You mean like when the portmanteaued? Is that what it?
No, we did a full which here are the categories. Each one of these is worth X, and then they could select. We did the Jeopardy themed show for the score.
Shit. No way.
Yeah,
my memory's so bad with it. As soon as the show's over, man, I have no concept of what just happened in terms of, especially, it's purely to do with learning music. Like once it's done, it's like it's so short-term memory for me. I do not remember doing that. That does sound good though. Yeah, we were on a show the other day and someone mentioned Jeopardy and you said we'd done it before.
Yeah, we did it one time and we got to the end of it and we both went, this is a fun show. I never want to do a show like this again.
God, don't remember that. Okay.
Well, because it's our normal 15 songs, but then we did that one where it had the 5 sequence. You got to figure out some sort of clue that will work for that. But then we had themed categories like Houston, we have a problem. And it was all space related movies. There's 5 of them. And then we had something for because it was the Scanlon brothers in Houston. So then we had a brothers themed category.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So it's like, we got to come up with the categories and then we got to figure out the movies and that was one where I'm going back through, okay, we've used that with these 2. We shouldn't use this movie. We've used this one. And then we escalated. It was worth more, the harder it was, etc.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to say what it is. And it feels really bad to even tease it because I'm not going to be able to say what it is. But we thought of an idea the other day, if you remember, for I think it's a potential matchup. It's not arranged or anything. But an idea in order to get out of the what movies do you have to omit, right? Because they've been on enough.
Sure.
A way around that. You and I came up with an idea the other day, which is it's going to be awesome. It's just not come to fruition yet, but it's a brand new idea that hasn't. It feels along the lines of the. We had an episode once where there was a theme or something. There was an extra bonus point if they could guess what the kind of. It was we spell out like a phrase in the.
Yeah, we did that once. You take the first letter.
Yeah.
It was with
Moose, wasn't it? it Moose?
Yeah, I think it was Moose and Jeff Kahn.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
I can't remember what it was.
Was it like Moose and Jeff STS or something like that? Yeah. I remember something.
I can't remember what it was, but we did that.
Funny. I can't
We
remember how
had
that
various
came
ideas
about,
like that.
Yeah. But this next one is for a couple of people that have been on a bunch, and when people have been on a lot, obviously yourself, you have to figure out what we haven't used, and we've come up with a way of kind of working out that it will still be difficult to curate, but it will be a lot of fun and a unique twist on this. Okay, I've got another one.
I'm also just to put a call out to anyone. If you have an idea of how we could refresh the scornament, but still kind of keep it in this, so we're not doing, but I think it'd be fun to have a new type of game for them because they've all played it now so many times. Just to fresh, because we have tried like, oh, we're going to do a different round 2 this time, or we're going to do something slightly different, but just to same mechanics. You're guessing the movie off of a score and a song, but some slight variation. I don't know. I keep racking my brain and be like, it's either too difficult to put together for you or I, or it's too similar to what we're already doing.
Yep. No, totally. Yeah. So put your ideas in. Obviously, we have a Discord as well that has a suggestion box category that you can drop stuff into that we check out. This is one I've seen come up multiple times. This is from Houston, but I've seen it come up multiple times. Would you consider doing whiteboards for round 1? It says to allow Andy to play longer, but I just think, and also to allow more players to play without the worry to catch the chime. I think whiteboards are definitely there as an option. It could be an evolution to the show, and I think we're departed from other game shows. Long enough has been that we don't have to sort of separate ourselves as much now. I could see whiteboards being a thing in round 1 to set, because round 1 and round 2 with very good players aren't dissimilar. If that makes sense.
Yeah, they're not.
They buzz in as quick. So
I try and amp up the difficulty when
of course,
some people coming in are better. I love it because each time I will tell them, be like, hey, I made it a little bit harder this time because you're good at this game.
Yeah.
And every time they're like, oh, really? And then they crush it.
Yeah.
It's like we never take it to the point of trying to screw you over and stump you, but it's just like, you've proven to be excellent at the game. I'd like to be impressed right now. Impress me. This is purely and it more often than not, it works. Every once and again, we will stump them. But usually, like I remember when we had Dan on and we did a song from the closing credits to The Raid Redemption.
Okay.
It was him and Collins, and neither got it. But as soon as I was like, that's from The Raid, they were both like, oh yeah, they start describing the scene and be like, yep. But I'm not going to do that song with everybody because that's tough as shit. Who remembers that song that plays for the last 5 seconds of the movie into the credits? Nobody.
Exactly. Yeah. I think the worst feeling on the show is people not getting it. Then to the point where you have to reveal it. So we're 3 clues deep, the song's been played, and then they don't get it. And then you reveal it, and then there's kind of like oh, okay. Like I was never going to get that. That's a horrible feeling, More so for you, you've curated the show, you've tried to make it direct. You've tried to, inject a line right into their sort of movie knowledge. And when it doesn't hit, it's a horrible feeling of people just going, oh, okay, that's, I haven't seen that, or whatever it is. Or I would have never gotten it and stuff like that. And that I think it's so rare that happens, but that's what we want to avoid. We don't want people to just be like, oh, okay, so I've learned something new.
No, not at all.
Right.
I want them, if they miss it, I want them kicking themselves.
Yeah. And in that circumstance, I think whiteboards do mitigate that, because I think people feel, I can just imagine psychologically, I think people would feel less concerned about writing down a wrong answer. But when you've got to buzz in and say an answer, when people just don't have anything, you can feel it. when they can't even think of a movie in that moment. Of all the thousands and thousands of movies, they can't think of a single one. And that's I don't like seeing that from people. Yeah, it's a horrible. I feel bad for them. But to write down something, I think it gives they can play around or whatever. I just think I like the whiteboard idea for that as well. Not just in terms of, I'd play the song, the full minute of the song that I've learned or whatever, but just in terms of it gives them a chance to write down anything, and then the round's over. We're not just waiting on them to, even if they haven't come up with anything, it's over. You don't need to worry about it. Don't kill yourself trying to think of something. You've timed out. It's enough fine. We'll move on. So yeah, there's that element too. So yeah, I think whiteboards are potential to differentiate between round 1 and 2. So good suggestion. I've seen a suggestion before. And Houston says another all scores episode. We haven't done that in a while. So yeah, that's we haven't done that in a long time.
It's been a while. I think we've only done 2, maybe 3 all scores only show.
Do you think? Yeah, I wouldn't know, but yeah, I think it has definitely been over a year since we did one. Yeah, because we almost had a mini kind of like adjacent scores people for a while, and some of those people probably haven't been on the show in a long time.
Yeah, some of them have been asked, and they just said, "Oh, I love watching, but playing's not really my cup of tea."
Sure, yeah,
and they've been on, and that's fine. To each their own. They're not going to guilt trip you into if you don't. If it's not your bag, then so be it. Thank you for still watching and paying attention and enjoying.
Let me do these last. They're not the last 2. There's loads, but I'll do these 2 more because they're in the same segment, and then we'll move on to whatever YouTube comments are there. Houston says, "What are your favorite moments from the show?" And I think I have no idea. I don't remember anything. I was talking to a colleague of mine, and it got brought up about talking tips. I can't remember how it got raised. Oh, I do know why. It's because I was joking around and had come up with a song on the spot, and I was talking to him. He goes, "Oh, do you ever do that on the show?" And I told him about talking tips. How just kind of I basically said you can watch the episode and see me writing it. It's not completely like I thought of this off the top of my head. It's 35 minutes worth of figuring out in amongst every time I play.
Yeah, trying to do everything else.
You can just see it that I'm concentrating on something else. And even right at the end, everyone's wrapping up, and you can see me rehearsing it on mute. And I sent him that clip. I didn't say watch this episode. I just clipped it up, and I clipped up the moments of the show that sort of prelude the ending. And watching that back, I don't watch the show, but watching it, I got a lot of joy from watching the whole build of talking tips and then the ending. I don't even think the song is that clever or good. It's just Sam's reaction to it is so funny. I think he just loved it. He keeled over. It was, it was a lovely reaction to something that I don't think is that funny, but it really struck him, and I got a lot of joy from that moment. So I think that's probably one of my favorite ever moments. Most memorable for me, for sure.
Yeah, they all kind of bleed together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there was one a long time ago when we had the Good People Association on. So whatever that was, like the 5th show.
Okay.
6th show. And I do not know how we got there, but someone had brought up like something about one kid having one leg that was shorter than another. And I just remember Riley saying, "Look at him, he's walking in circles." And the visual image of, because one leg is shorter, like he's trying to walk straight, but he can't help but walk in a circle.
Right.
And that slayed me in my head. I didn't know who said it. I just remember who fucking said that. And Riley was like, "That's extra points for you."
Oh, really? Oh,
yeah.
funny. Yeah.
I remember that because it was just like, God damn it, that's funny.
Yeah.
Whether or not people would have caught it without me highlighting just the visual of it. Oh, God damn it. Because I know some people out there would be like, "Oh, the kid," and be like, "It's a fictitious kid. This kid does not exist. You're
Right.
empathizing with a fucking dragon."
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, specific. Yeah, there was. Do you want to be a dick or not? With late to the party once, and I can't remember what they said, but it was a phallus reference to either being or not being.
Yeah, I remember
it being so fucking funny in the moment.
Yeah, I remember we had fan art made, and it was I think it was Robert doing "Dick It Up" like this with his little finger. Was that right? Was that one? I remember seeing like fan art of that, and I was thinking, oh, that should be like a T-shirt. Dick it up. I can't remember if that was the right one, but yeah, that was funny. And then the final bit of this little segment, because they are asking questions in the group. Joe Farrelly, he says, because we list the clues alphabetically, I mean, it's whatever order they come up with. There's no other order really. But he says, what if the player uses a lifeline? They get to choose the letter. Now that could go any way.
Yeah, that's dicey as hell.
I mean, there are. You'd have to see the list of a set of clues, but there are. I guess people wouldn't know this. Okay, so the patrons might come up with a clue. Say Grebner comes up with a clue or whatever. I or you might vary that clue, still crediting Grebner in that circumstance, but we might slightly alter it a couple of times along, and that will be part of that subset of letters, right? So, you know, it might be that you've given a clue, which is his clue, and then we've given options on that clue, still crediting Grebner in that circumstance. But if they picked that letter, they would just be getting the same clue again. I guess that's a bit like being a dick or not and getting the quantity question.
Yeah, but like that second clue, as you...
I always go character name. Yeah.
You try and go for something that really helps get him over the finish line. That's the point of it. It is a lifeline. So like say we were doing the naked gun in the third round, and I chose a clue that like La La Land, and then they pick a random letter, and that random letter is B, and B is LA Story. Well, now they've gotten the same clue twice, and that second clue gets them no further to the finish. Like I like the idea of where your head's at of somehow changing things up, but that clue is the second clue is really supposed to help push you over the finish line.
I have thought about an evolution to the whole round 3 has evolved the most in the show for sure, right? It has
100%.
It has changed and improved. I have thought about because I play Fantasy Premier League. I think it's a completely different style to the fantasy football that you guys do, because ours is, I don't know if you have a version of this. It's not a draft system. It's like
what, an auction?
You basically have a set amount of money at the start, and every player's worth of value, and then you just populate your squad. And
everybody could have Messi.
Everyone can have,
yeah. I've been in versions like that.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, in the Premier League, pretty much everyone has Haaland, because he's just going to rack up points, and then, but he's also worth the most amount of money, so he sort of dissipate your funds. And
I'm listening. I got to blow my nose.
No worries. So in that version of the Premier, everyone gets these chips, and they are similar to our lifelines. So funny that Joe Farrelly asked about this. I'm certain he knows about fantasy lifelines or chips. So basically, everyone gets them, and you get 3 or 4, I think, and halfway through the season, you get another set. But I was thinking about our lifelines in that system, and thinking that it's not just you get extra notes or a clue, but they are chips to play, so that you don't have to. It's not a coin flip, and you decide which one. It's throughout round 3, you can play your chips at any point. So you can go for your extra clue. Later on, you could go for your double notes. You have these 2, and we could add a chip in. But like that, that could be a thing where you just get. Everyone starts round 3 with the same amount of chips, and you just play them when you like. You could stack them. So if you really wanted the points for one, if you really needed to go for it, you go, you're taking it down to 1 note. Well, I'm going to double down, and not double down, but I'm going to double notes on that. I'm going to get my extra clue. I'm going to play this 3rd chip, go for it, cash in, try and get the win, that kind of thing. Instead of it being like you've got a lifeline and you get to choose which one it is. A bit like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You can play the lifelines as you please.
I think I'm still a little lost here. So what does this new functionality do? Because you can use your lifeline at any point. The double down is the only one it's dependent.
No. But you only get a lifeline in round 3.
Okay.
At the moment. I'm saying like they are like in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You get the lifelines as chips to play. So double notes and an extra clue are completely separate. You can play them.
Okay, so you just want to add more optionality then for them.
Yeah, I've thought about that as an evolution to round 3, where do you want to play your double notes? Do you want to play your extra clue?
Okay.
Yeah,
I have thought about like, should we allow players just to double down if they want to make a real run at getting back in this game?
Yeah.
Instead of having to wait for a wrong answer, being like, you know what, and I'm doubling down on this. I think that's worthy of discussion.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So that say they were your 3 chips then. So it would be like extra clue, double notes, and a double down. Someone potentially completely out of the game on points could wager to 1, get a 2nd note, get an extra clue, go for double score, really try and win the game.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'm not against that. I like that.
Yeah.
The problem with adding to the 3rd round is already our most complex round.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but this might clear things up. Like you got these 3 options. You can use them whenever you want. Yeah. It doesn't have to be somebody got it wrong on the double down. You can just use it. If you think you know it, boom. There's still the penalty of doubling down. You get it wrong, you get nothing.
Yeah.
Now I have seen comments on Discord and on YouTube and other places saying if someone gets the question wrong, then they should only get the full points if they can answer it. But I kind of just like the penalty of if you get it wrong, your opponent automatically gets it. So there's stakes in it for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you have wagered. That's the point. It's your punishment for thinking you can go that low.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I've seen more than one person being like, that doesn't seem fair. You should do it like they only get half of it and then have to get the other half, or they have to answer it to get it. I'm like, but then where's the penalty?
Yeah, exactly.
So because it can swing games pretty heavily at times, just by getting those points and allow somebody to get back in without having to wager on their own.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there are plenty of games like that. You're like, I'm sure there are versions in America, but it'll be like how many basketball players can you name in 30 seconds? And someone will say, I can name 20. I can name 22. I can name, and the person that says, right, you do it then, that person that's saying you do it, the challenger, not the competitor, the challenger's hoping they fail so they get the point. That's the whole point of that wager is you think you can do that many? Well, you go for it because I think I'm going to get the point now.
Yeah, and exactly. I don't think you can. And I'm going to bank on that. And I'm going to take the points when you screw this up.
Yeah, exactly. So that was the last point. So yeah, Alphabet, I think we'd have to systematically reorder the clues to make it feasible. It's a bit too random and
I don't see a way where it's, because there are certain movies where we do it. It's when we create the list. So whatever the movie is, just pick one at random and say Tenet.
Yeah.
there'll be, so it's Tenet, and it'll have number 1 next to it, and then the clues on some of these go A through Z, and then double A, double B, double
yeah.
Z. So it's just like there's on some movies we have pushing 40 clues,
Yep,
like
exactly.
legitimately. So to have
Exactly.
somebody be like, okay, pick a letter A through triple J.
Yep.
Okay, or double J. Like,
Yep.
okay, and then we have to go in and order what we think, and then there's a chance of them.
Exactly. And if a film came up again, we'd have to reorder it, because if the clue that they picked, say they picked the letter G, and it was absolute gimme clue, which there are obviously in every
Yes.
every list.
Every movie has a few gimme clues.
Yeah, which is absolutely fine. But if it was like, well, that's giving it away, we'd have to then think to reorder it, and also consider, has someone played, and there's a lot to consider there. But there might be a version, Joe, that where, because I do the lifeline clue. So sort of all lifelines are on me a little bit if it's double notes or lifeline clue. But there could be an element where, as part of my prep, where Matt does the trivia additions to round 1, I could do a 1, 2, and 3 lifeline clue for each film. Just pull them out and think, these are the sort of lifeline, because I have an idea of what kind of clue. What I try and make it obtuse to the clues you give, because I don't want to double down on a clue idea.
Yeah.
But I can certainly like figure something out where I do a 1, 2, and 3, and they pick an envelope in that respect. So it could be like that, where they go, I'd like an extra clue, and okay, so you got 1, 2, and 3, and they go, I'll take clue 1.
You are creating more work for yourself.
Yeah, but I like there could be some element of like, I guess the idea is me picking a lifeline clue. I could swing a game, just
100%
picking an easy or more difficult clue, or not tapping into what they're thinking. And yeah, so if it was down to them to pick the right envelope for them, I don't mind that at all. It's not that much harder, because I have an idea
putting the onus on them, basically.
Yeah, I think so. Like them, there are game shows where it's like, if you'd have picked this, you might have got it. Yeah, that Deal or No Deal type thing.
Yeah, it's your call, because you're the one picking those anyway.
Yeah.
So
no, I don't mind. I don't mind doing that. Yeah, just a one, box 1, 2, or 3, and they say I'll have and I know what order they are. I'm not going to change anything, and then they get to just dictate what clue, but they have no idea. So yeah, I don't mind doing something like that. So that's a kind of like a compromise of that idea into what could actually logistically work without much fuss.
Yeah, the other one is, it's just not feasible, because then there's the chance that you're going to pick another obscure clue, or we're going to be double, because sometimes we have 5 versions of the same clue.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like La La Land and LA Story. It's like, yeah. Some of these are just kind of getting your brain working on the movie, and you're putting ideas on paper. And
yeah,
you've seen it on our list. I'll put parenthetically after some of my, like, this is awful, after mine, but I'm just kind of writing to get the juices flowing.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I do it too. I make notes on my own.
Yeah, or this one has the title,
and some yes, yeah, oh yeah,
yeah, something, but it helps the process of
yeah. Yeah, sometimes I write down clues that have the title in that. Sometimes they'll come from the patrons, and especially if it's a longer title, and it will be a technicality. Yeah, I'm trying to think of an example, but there's somewhere it's like, in the longer version of this title, that word or whatever comes up. But I'll add the clue in and make the note, because there's always a chance that it would work for, like, say, the sequel or something. And clues tend to be worded so cleverly that they are transferable to other movies. I like, sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, so many times I see a patron clue and I go, oh, they do it themselves. So that this will also work for that film. And I go, oh, I'll just find the last time we did that and add it too. That's why on the notes page, if you're sorted by, I don't know how you have yours sorted, but I have mine sorted by most recently modified, and some old shows will find their way to the top.
Yeah,
because I'm like,
it depends on what I need at various times. But yeah, sometimes it's last time it was opened. Other times,
yeah. So if you have it on recently modified, I'm going back. Sometimes the patrons will say something like, "Oh, that would work for RoboCop or whatever," and I go, "Oh yeah, that's a great idea." I add it in to like show 150 or whenever the last time we did RoboCop, to keep that fresh, and then it's ready to go. And I wonder sometimes if patrons have a clue read out that they've written, and they go, "When did I, when did I submit that?" And it won't have been recently because I've backdated or whatever. I wonder. I haven't heard that from them, but yeah, I wonder. Although mostly I hear from them that they don't remember anything they've submitted because they'll.
Yeah, it's like us with our favorite moment in the show. And be like, I don't.
They play along and still. Oh yeah, I didn't even remember writing that. Yeah. How's the chat going?
It's good. I mean, it's a lot of people talking about like video game scores, and then Worthy of Mjolnir said, "What about a Lifeline where you get an actor?" But I think, it's not pertinent to the music, and that's what the clues. We already have the clue functionality, so then we have the music functionality. I think that's more pertinent to the show.
It has to be show. Yeah,
like to music. If perhaps you could say composer, but I think that would only be good for certain guests.
Oh yeah. Composer would be the closest. Yeah, and you're right. It just wouldn't matter to most people. I mean, double the notes is already to the point where very rarely comes up. Gosh. Yeah. I can't think of something. Yeah, I haven't thought of what the other chip. I think the 3 chips would be.
Yeah, I like that.
Like you say, the double down.
You can use that
double down, double notes, Lifeline, clue.
Yeah, you can use those whenever you want, as opposed to specific. Because then it's easier too for people to understand. You can just use them whenever. Because some people have tried to like, I'd like to double down on this. Be like, oh, you can't because it's got to be on the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Just taking that out and being like, you can use it whenever.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
It does lead to someone running up the score, but so be it.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Someone could get way out.
Yeah. Someone could go, oh, I know precisely what this is off the clue. I'm going to go to 0 notes and I'm going to double down on it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just like, okay, well, suddenly they got 50 points, or pardon me, 60 points.
Yeah.
Could happen.
True. Yeah, they could risk it and get it wrong. I mean, people have been so confident.
Now, the question becomes, if they get it wrong, can the other person double down on that and turn that 60 into 100?
Oh, that is so cool. A double down on a played double down chip must be a quadruple.
Because now, under the rules of the game, you would automatically get those 60 points.
Yeah, you're doubling down on whatever the score value is.
Yes. So we could also say, well, since you did get it right, we keep the point value at 30 points. Or we could say, nope, now it's worth 60. You automatically get those 60 points.
Yeah.
And you know double down on that for 120. We got to talk about that, but that's in the mix.
Exactly. And you know those games where people play to their disadvantage to keep the game alive, or they're, like, oh, I'll go down to 1 note so that if I get it wrong, you get a chance at leveling or whatever. We'll get people that will go, oh yeah, I'll put my double down on the line to make sure that when you're back in the game or whatever, that would happen. Yeah,
there definitely. I have already thought of like 2-3 people. As soon as you said that, be like, they would do that. Yeah, exactly. 100%, just to keep the game going.
Just to keep the game going.
And that's why we'll keep inviting them back.
Exactly.
A, they're good at it, and B, they're here to have fun.
Exactly. So I think Lifelines definitely have room to evolve, and watch this space on that, I guess. Ken, I haven't played piano yet. Ken said that he's not going to be able to make the live show. He said, every time I hear Richter's On the Nature of Daylight, which is probably every day considering how many movies it's in, it immediately reminds me of Adele's Hometown Glory. Am I crazy, or the progression's the same? So that's Hometown Glory, isn't it? I don't know if you know that one. In my hometown. And then Nature of Daylight is that. Yeah, so it's in the same key, it's the same chord structure. It's not an unusual chord structure, but yeah, there's a reason why your ear is telling you they sound the same, because they are literally the same. And now it's up to whoever to find out which one was first. But I just don't think they're it's not that unusual that there'd be any kind of issue with copyright or anything. So that's hope that answered that for you.
Yeah, and plus ultimately all music sounds like all music.
I have an issue with some stuff that I hear, and like, you know,
yeah, certain things you're like, no, that's
copy.
Yeah, 100%. But other things would be like, yeah, that chord structure has existed in 50 songs. You can't copyright that.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing this is Andrew Scanlon. It's Scranlon. I'm pretty sure that's his @ on Twitter as well.
I see. Right. Okay.
Said, what if the double down was missed? Then the other person got a fraction of the original amount. So the original person who got it wrong actually got a small amount of points. I am against that. You got it wrong, you get nothing.
Double down was missed, then the other person got oh, I see. So
the original person who got it wrong then gets a portion of the points.
Oh, this is to
you got it wrong.
No, yeah, but the other person, right? So that's what you. So it'd be the yeah.
So saying if the
oh wait, so yeah, because in our new system you can double down.
You can double down on a double down potentially. We haven't set this in stone, but you could double down on a double down.
But if you double down and get it wrong, so say you and I are playing, and it's on me to answer it, and I decide that I'm confident enough to double down, or I need the points or whatever. So now I've gone from a 20 to a 40.
Yeah.
If I get it wrong, forget like an additional stacked double down from you, but would you get 40? I think he's saying that you would not get the full 40, but you'd get like you'd get maybe the original value or a fraction of
that's that. What we're saying. Good. That is something we've got to decide amongst ourselves.
Yeah, but not the stack double down, but just the actual what you get from having me. I still think like if I'm confident to wager a double down, so I guess it would be say I am really under on score and I really need to catch up and I have to commit to doubling down. Then it comes to you that I get it wrong and the points come to you. Your gap to me is massive now, but that's the game.
Well, yeah, but the second part of that is so the original person who got it wrong actually got a small amount of points.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what he's saying in the second part. Be like, no, you got it wrong. You're getting nothing. That is the price for having doubled down on it. Is you get nothing.
No, yeah, if you get it wrong.
Yeah, you're gambling. And sometimes you lose when you gamble.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, this isn't fucking FanDuel or something where we're just trying to rope you into more gambling by giving you another shot at getting some money back. And
I've just seen his follow-up. No, I get it. Okay, so now the scenario is this. Okay, I think there's a little bit more merit to it than you just get it wrong and you get nothing. He's saying, if I get it wrong, it comes to you. You double down.
Yep.
If you get it wrong, I get rewarded with a fraction of those points.
See, I think everybody just gets nothing at that
Everything.
point.
Yeah.
Just like you got it wrong and you got it wrong. No fucking points. You both suck.
Yeah. So that addition could be applied now. There's no because it's the double down on the incorrect answer. But yeah, I don't like the idea of then points coming back across the table.
And rewarded after you've already gotten it wrong, no chance.
Yeah, no way. Yeah. Keep the suggestions coming though, just not a shit ones like that. No, joking. That's fine. I'm not mad. What else have we got? Oh, Eric Grabner says, why no silent films? I don't know if he's joking or not. Obviously, I watch silent movies and I think, oh, this would be so nice to, but I don't think there's any. Eric Grabner would know better than anyone, but I don't think there's any confidence in what is the original score of a silent film. Like when I watch Safety Last, I love the music. I don't know if it's the original music though. I don't think it can't be. And I guess there are versions of silent films with certain scores attached to them, but not with. I don't know. I don't think it's fun, and I don't think there's any consistency in order. You know, who would we get to play that apart from Grebner? Eric Grebner plays Eric Grebner. You'd have to do a kind of like a.
Put it this way: we've done some movies from the 40s and 50s on a non-specific themed show with players that are really good. And I caught flack afterwards for, I can't believe you chose that movie. And it's a huge all-timer that everybody's seen if you love movies.
Sure.
And they didn't know the music from that. So now we're saying, let's go back another 30 years or 20 years.
Yeah.
And another host of problems. It's just like, it's asking a lot. Unless we're doing a themed show specifically of silent films. And then I don't know who we book for that.
It's so tough. Yeah.
Yeah, that is a niche show.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really tough. I can't think of a version where we throw in so you either do a silent film or a 1930s episode. I don't think that exists. Or you throw a silent movie into a normal episode, and I don't see that working either. I just don't see a way of getting them in at all. I have thought about it, and I watch these films and I go, "Oh, it was so cool." You know, it'd be so cool, but yeah, I don't see it working.
I put it to you this way: one of the shows we had to cancel, the two people coming on, like, "Oh yeah, no, I like all these types of movies," and it was all blockbuster genres of the past 10 years. You'd be like, okay, and that's a common occurrence of anything huge over the past 15 years. They know, and they know well. Anything before that, and that's not even going back that far. That's, we haven't even gotten into the 90s, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
So it's just a very specific type of individual that would know that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah,
and then I'd almost feel like we'd have to give them a heads up of, hey, this is reaching back, just so you know.
Here's a question for you, Matt. This will be definitely for you. Have any contestants on the show who currently have patrons from whatever support system they have chosen asked, is this just self-aggrandizing? Okay. Asked how you two have maintained such an amazing and interactive group? Have you fielded any questions about?
I have not. That's a very specific question.
Yeah.
I have not. No one has specifically asked me.
I'll ask you. I don't think we'd necessarily do anything to maintain. I think we are very lucky to have obtained a group of awesome people. I don't think I mean, I do obviously keep up to date with them. I mean, they all have my number, but
they do.
And they are completely welcome to message me outside of the group, and there's no boundaries, I suppose. But I don't necessarily do anything to maintain, like, they, I feel like, are the water in the garden, kind of keeping themselves right. Like they keep themselves going. Like it's I think it's organic. I don't know. I sound a bit.
I don't know how you manufacture that.
Yeah, but we didn't. Everything sort of just came about. There was no planning involved, right? Like we didn't set out to have a certain type of people, or we didn't know how we didn't sort of know how our fan base as such would interact with us or each other. It was never planned in that way. It just sort of happened.
Yeah.
I think initially I was posting the films for Clues on the Patreon. Yeah, and it was so laborious to sign in and get the clues. And I think I just said to you, can I just set up a WhatsApp group? And I think most of the patrons had to probably download WhatsApp because it's not heavily used in America, whereas here it's like the sole messaging system. But I just find it so easy, and it was so much easier for me to use. So yeah,
it's easy. It's so much easier on a phone. Like Patreon's app is
yeah,
the functionality of it is not great. So then you have to log into the website, and then it's a whole other step. Whereas that's just straight on your phone. But yeah, I think it's just, for whatever reason, we've attracted a certain type of audience to the show, and thankfully they've been nothing short of fantastic.
Yeah, it's so great. Yeah. So happy with Alan Smithy. Is that Alan Smithy? I want to compete. Yeah, go for it. You can compete. There's loads of ways to compete on the show.
Yeah.
First
off, we got to know your real name.
Yeah.
It's problem number one for you there, Smithy.
Let's see. Yeah, Alan Smith. I mean, it might be. Yeah, there's a couple of footballers it could be. I doubt it. Peggy's in the chat.
Yeah, she asked about TV themes, which
TV themes. Yeah, we did cover it. It's definitely on its way. Let us know if you feel savvy enough to take on TV themes. We'll need multiple competitors, I think, for that. And obviously, Matt would like a break from, I guess, curating normal shows for Peggy, where she's been on enough.
Peggy, JTE, Snyder was pestering me a week or two ago, and he's like, "Well, how come you haven't had me on in a while?" I'm like, "Dude, find someone who's never been on the show, because if I have you on with anybody that's been on, we're excluding a couple hundred movies out the gate."
Yeah.
And that is my own rule, but it's, that I do my level best not to repeat movies.
Yeah.
But I mean, even with Peggy, I screwed that up like the last time she was on, or 2 times ago.
Oh yeah, I think she said, didn't she, that she didn't guess something because she knew we wouldn't have picked it, and it was there. But I mean, that's it's her fault for being such a good competitor that we have her on so much, I think. But yeah.
It's more so just a function of, Peggy, you've been on 9-10 times. JTE the same. Jeff's been on like 8 times. Like, that's, if you look at it in the case of Jeff, that's 8 times 15. So right there, that's 120 movies off the slate. And you're like, oh, that's not, there's still tons of movies, but then you got to go, how many movies is the other person going to know in common with him, with the same genres and likes, and it's still recognizable? It narrows it down. You start paring down the possible list. Like we have, if you guys were to look at our, say the pop song sheet that we have, I believe it is currently 32 pages.
Yeah.
There's a lot to choose from, but of that, it's just like some of those are niche. Like we've never done anything from Topsy Turvy, which is a movie I love, but that's very specific. And there's like 8 Topsy Turvy songs on there.
Yeah.
So it's like some of it is niche, and other is just like, there's a lot of movies to choose from, but it's just how many of these do you know? Because I could put together a show tomorrow of all songs we've never used for competitor. Doesn't mean they're going to know them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, exactly. I've got a cool, I think, suggestion here. This is a extra points in round 1 question, which I think we had a suggestion that we trialed in regard to people on the, I don't know, say name this actor and this director have worked together 7 times, name 5 or whatever.
Yeah, and if you get all,
and if you get all 7, we've had that suggestion, and I think we trialed it once. But this one from Matt Scanlon says, if on the quantity questions, if they get it exactly right, bonus points, which isn't a rule, but I think isn't bad. I mean, it comes up so rarely that I don't
think it's ever.
I don't remember anybody is
nail on the head.
Bang on. Yeah, so I guess whatever. Maybe we just say they've won the game if they get it nailed on. Game ends. And who are some guests that you haven't had on that you'd like to? I mean, I have a list of people. So he says he would like to see Doug Benson, How Did This Get Made team, Dan Mel versus Spencer versus Joe from Screen Junkies, and I know they hang out still. I think Dan makes videos with them still. So yeah,
I know that Joe and Spencer have been asked and said, I don't know if that's really because I think they were still on the tail end of all the serious trivia shows.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
And they just associated with that. But those requests have been made.
Yeah. Yeah, Doug Benson obviously is he knows his stuff. That's fun.
I haven't seen Doug in years. So if I happen to run into him, I can ask him. Yeah, cool. I thought about him and like Graham Elwood.
How Did This Get Made team? I can't remember who.
It's Paul Scheer.
Yeah, okay.
Lucas,
I definitely recommended Paul to you. Not recommend. I mean, you know who he is, but it was him and Amy Nicholson from their podcast Unspooled. I suggested as a matchup, but it's just about scheduling. That would definitely work, and I think their show would be specifically themed around what the podcast is about, which is about the AFI Top 100. So that'd be cool. So yeah, one of the patrons, Eric's asked about a specific show that only they know about, and basically, is it coming? We'll have to see, and I can't say what it is because no one else knows about it apart from the patrons. But it's something that they were helping with regards to clues. That it's basically it's just about scheduling, so it's just tricky.
Oh, that one? Yes.
Yeah.
That one is started to come together right before the holidays, and the holidays set in.
Yeah,
and
we'll pick up again.
Yeah, we will. Because one of the two players already reached back out and said, "Hey, you think you still want to do that?" And it was like 100%.
Yeah,
I will reach back out.
Yeah. Scanlon, the Matt one, says any chance of Andy versus Matt round 2. So that, I think it was a very successful episode. I love that episode.
The one where you cheated?
Yeah, the one where I cheated. Yeah. Was it episode 200?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we'd basically keep up that tradition if it was going to happen. Yeah.
Do episode 300.
So what are we on now? In the 250s?
247 will be the next one.
Okay. Yeah. So we've got a little while. But yeah, I could see that. I could see a few things happening maybe before that happens, like an actual live show or something along those lines. But yeah, before we match up again, I just think we'll keep it. I think 200 was special. We'll just do that again. The next 200. And obviously we don't. It's the actual main episode numbers, isn't it? Because we didn't factor in. We're probably already up to 250 by that point.
Yeah. These types of shows, the patron shows, don't count to those overall numbers. Yeah, we're probably pushing 300.
Yeah. Would you guys possibly do? Oh, there you go. A live in-person show, a patron get together. Absolutely. I mean, obviously that would be. We talked about it so much around my holiday to LA. It's just so difficult. My time was so limited, and yeah, it would have eaten up a whole day of mine and yours, and we wouldn't have actually been able to spend any time together. So Matt and I went to dinner in LA. So it's the second time we've ever hung out in person.
True.
Which is wild, yeah. Yeah, we did try and do something, but yeah, it would have been all encompassing in terms of my holiday. So now that I've had a holiday out there and did that, then maybe this, I can visit with the sole purpose of doing something like that. I think would be absolutely fine. I'll be down for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's definitely in the future. And patron get together. I don't know like the geography of it all. Where would be like the most?
I mean, somewhere central in the U.S. would be the most convenient. Because I think, that's off the top of my head. That's where a bulk of them live.
Yeah. I mean, how many Scanlons are there? And they must all live together, so they can host, I suppose.
They're not far from one another. Indiana and Missouri, if memory serves.
Yeah.
And then like Eric's in Illinois. Juan is in Georgia. I'd have to go through the list, but it's just like somewhere like Indiana's centrally located.
There's Minnesota,
Chicago.
isn't there?
Yeah, Houston's in Minnesota.
Yeah. Andrew Scanlon says we can all go stay with Andy. Obviously, you're all welcome to London. That would make life easier for me. Any all-time favorite clues? That question I can answer because I used it so much that we had to sort of put it in the.
Was it Parks and Recreation?
Yeah, I think Parks and Recreation. Yeah, I think we had to put it in the black box of like not using that anymore because I used it. Oh God, so many times.
I mean, I love Joe Farrelly's "Dawn of the Dead" for 28 years later.
Just clued them in straight away. That's the problem.
Yeah, but I was so excited to use it.
I think you give that one a year, and I think we can bring that back out again.
I think it might have been Andrew Scanlon's for Last Crusade was 2 Guys, 1 Cup.
Nice. That's so good.
Yeah.
Gosh. That's so good. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, the patron clues, there's so many good ones.
What was the one? There was a film recently where I just said to you, it's Innuendo City, and it was just like crazy. I can't remember.
I don't remember. I'd have to look at it.
It was just every clue was like day. I can't remember. It was so funny. Every single patron like doing something blue. And I basically, I think I wrote at the top of the comments like pick your innuendo. It was just like whichever joke you wanted to make. Yeah, that's funny. Can't remember the film.
Mjolnir said his favorite is Human Plinko. That was Titanic.
Titanic.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
I think I got shit for that. Don't care.
I mean, yeah, it's tough because of the style of the humor that comes with the clues. If you're talking about a film that's like maybe a tragedy, it's tough.
Yeah, but it's a tragedy so far removed from every person alive right now that I'm sorry, I have no empathy.
Yeah, I mean, with the Titanic,
we have no idea if that happened.
Yeah,
it was in the movie. It doesn't mean it actually happened.
Yeah, but there are other films that are like you know, it's tough to. I don't know. Like I'm thinking like Schindler's List, the clues, I guess the ratio from like amazing clue to can we read that out on air? With Schindler's List is one. Philadelphia is another one where it was like. Some of these clues they're great, they're great jokes, but it's not probably the right arena. There are some like, I don't mind. I very non-judgmental. They can write what they want to write on.
Yeah, no, 100%. I love it, each and every one of them. I don't care how dark the joke is. It's a fucking joke.
Exactly.
Who cares? Although we did have one guest once that basically threatened to leave the show because of a clue. And it was fairly innocuous clue at that, but that individual is also having, we found out later, a very difficult time independent of the show. So more than likely brought in, but we were also like, well, fine. You don't have to do the show. It's fine.
Exactly. Okay. Yes. This question, obviously it always comes up if we do anything like this. Would there be any interest in logo merch? And a small prize for show winners. Yeah. We definitely the logo merch thing, it just needs to happen. Probably someone needs to like just grab it by the horns and do it. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we could put out a simple t-shirt with just our logo on it. That's done. We can do that tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, I have a hoodie for my other side hustle. I got it as a gift. But yeah, it's my logo, my other logo. On a hoodie, and obviously it's quite easy to do stuff like that. And we should probably do stuff. And I think we had alts for the logo that we talked about using at some point because there's definitely something along the lines where going back to sort of 2020 when the show was in inception stage, my mate Luke, who came up with the logo, suggested so many cool ideas that would be like I don't know, almost like, you know, like someone might have a a Blue Harvest poster or something like that,
Yeah.
like the return of yeah, there'd be something like that where it'd be like, if type merch as well. But yeah, we'd have to. I mean, it's definitely going to happen, and I like the idea of us being able to reward patrons, not only in terms of merch discount, first access to that stuff, and to anything new, but also like scornament winners. Yeah, we should be able to, if we're in that situation where we've got the stock, reward people. We won't be backdating it, otherwise Houston will end up with like a box of hoodies or something. But yeah, I think
Well, we'll
is,
just use a print on demand service, because then they'll do the shipping straight to the individuals. And
exactly. Yeah. So yeah, you've been in this
I would
world
much
before.
prefer to use a local screen printer, because you can get better quality shirts and the graphic is infinitely better.
Mhm.
But then the shipping and trying to manage all that stuff is a nightmare. So a print on demand service. Yeah, look, I can set that up and we can have it up by the next week. It's not difficult.
Yeah. So obviously, Andrew Scanlon had that question earlier about maintenance of our community, and he meant about like patron gains. I don't think we do. Occasionally we mention we're not that kind of like and subscribe type show or people. I think I certainly feel too cynical to be like, we should be telling people to comment and like and share and all that kind of stuff. I just don't. I'm not that type of person. And
does anybody listen to it and go, yes, I should? If someone tells me to do that, I never do it.
I know. So, sometimes I'm watching stuff on YouTube and people are like, especially live stuff, which obviously we don't tend to have apart from this. People will be like, there's so many people watching and only so many likes. Come on, guys, like the thing. And even then, I don't tend to. My like, it's almost like a playlist YouTube have for liked videos is very specific. I almost treat it like a playlist. Like it's very specific videos that I want to have at my fingertips at any point. So I think I've liked like less than 10 videos ever, because I just
I'm not far from you. I'll just subscribe to the channel if I like your videos.
But obviously I think it would probably help to get eyeballs on the show, but I just don't think about it. I think if we're people's people, they'll find us. Like, it's such a niche crossover of thing we're doing. I don't know. I think I'm comfortable where it's at. I don't know. Obviously there'd be merit in getting it bigger, but I don't know. Yeah, I feel gross about the whole thing. Yeah. I got asked to do a piece of work recently for someone, and they were like, music, I mean, and they were like, how much so there was no question that they were gonna go. I wasn't auditioning, tendering, or anything like that. They sent me something they wanted to work on. I invited them over, we sat at the piano, I played it for them, and they were blown away and said like, how much for this and stuff. I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't like that shit. So I was like, well, go speak to Anna, I don't know. And
talk to my manager.
Yeah, and I'd already sort of, I don't know, like I said a number, and I was like, I don't know, like this is how much I charge for a piano lesson. It's probably going to take me that long to record it, so just like whatever. And Anna was thinking like 4 times that amount for me to go record it and stuff. And I was like, oh, you can't now go with that number, because I said to them it'd roughly be around that. And then it was like, they said, do you want it in actual cash, or do you want me to get you like theater tickets? So I was like, I'd rather your payment can be, let's end this conversation. I hate this shit. I didn't want to talk about it. Stop asking me. So
it's tough.
In the end, they were just like, they just give me cash. I was like, it's not my thing. And that's the kind of the way I feel about this. Like I'm so grateful of the patrons, and it's been so beneficial to be financially rewarded for the effort that we put in. It's been so beneficial in regards to my LA holiday, the keyboard that I have. It always goes to something important. I never draw down, just to pay the bills or whatever. It's always so, I make sure it's always so important. And if I can, I benefit the show in some way with regards to gear. But I would never try and sponge out a little more, or it just doesn't suit me. So I don't know how you feel about it, but I guess we're aligned because we never talk about that kind of stuff.
No, I use mine for drugs. Just drugs, man.
That makes sense. Yeah. Yep. Matt, do you have any recommendations on riding mowers?
No, I hate yard work. I got nothing for you.
Okay.
I like home improvement projects. When I was a kid, punishment was weeding and stuff like that. So I still think of it as that. I hate working in the yard. It's the worst.
That's so interesting. I don't think I'd have guessed that. I would have thought you were quite either green-fingered or hard.
No, I can do it. Yeah, I like succulents and cactuses and stuff like that because the maintenance on it is so easy.
So low. Yeah.
And I've got tons of those plants, but I hate yard work so much so that Catherine has complained to my dad. Just in that, why did you make him, do that as a joke? Why was the punishment yard work? Because now he does not want to ever do stuff in the yard. And just like, I hate it. I hate it.
Yeah.
I will happily do anything else over doing yard work. It's the worst.
Yeah. And my thing is if there's a robot that can do it, I own it. So yeah, that's my grass.
Fair enough.
So yeah. I'm not green-fingered at all. Awful. Yeah. In fact, in our last garden, we landscaped it. It wasn't grass to begin with, so it's not like we killed off some nature to undo it, but it was just purple slate, and we just had artificial grass just because it's so easy, obviously. Pet friendly, artificial grass, and it was really comfortable and lovely and no maintenance at all. So
makes it easy. That's what I like.
As soon as we can afford to, we'll do that again here, I think.
Plants that are indigenous to this region, they're really easy to take care of. So slowly take out everything that's not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm spent on WhatsApp. I hope I got to everything. I don't think I missed anything. If I did, obviously I'll just answer it in the chat. Yeah. How about you?
I think we're good. I mean, we're at 2 hours. So
yeah, it flew by.
It's 1 a.m. your time. So
is it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Wow. That's all right. I'm off work this week. It's half term over here. Do you guys have half term?
No.
In schools?
Well, there are breaks built in. Yes.
Yeah.
So winter break for some kids is roughly around now.
Okay. Yeah. So this is like halfway between, I guess, whatever term, start of the year and Easter, something like that. And then, it's called half term over here. It's a week off. So with the kids.
Nice. Enjoy.
Yeah. It's all good. That was cool. Nice to catch up.
Yeah.
Nice to answer some questions. And I think, I genuinely think the show could evolve.
We're always up for new ideas.
In the rule set. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's actual tangible.
Something can be tweaked and made better or more interesting. Nothing is set in stone. There's no rigidity to it. So it's like, this could work. We'll give it a try.
Yeah.
Or at least at the very least discuss it.
So the thing, the outstanding actions from me to the commenters or people that are catching up with this later or whatever would be definitely video game. I would say video game scores and songs and TV intro themes. I think our list is pretty extensive already, but that would be good. And then scornament ideas in order to keep it fresh or
something to freshen that up for patrons.
Yeah, exactly.
All for it, because we got to do another one of those sometime soon. We haven't done one in
in
a month and a half.
Yeah. And I think, genuinely, like, I think round 3 chips are definitely something I would like to explore, and whiteboarding in round 1 to differentiate it from round 1 and 2, I could see definitely coming into play. We'll just have to see. I want the show to be the show still, and I don't want to depart from like what makes it. Yeah. The only concern with whiteboard is that it tweaks the show into the serious column just slightly, when it's actually a little more fun.
And
I
I
don't
can
want
already
it to be
tell
like
you,
the trivia show.
as soon as you brought it up, I can think of 3 or 4 people that will be like,
Trauma.
"Ugh, really?"
Whiteboard trauma.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't want to have to write anything down.
Yeah, exactly.
I already can think of several people that they'll still do the show, but they're just like, man.
Yeah. I could see whiteboards coming in if we've got more than 2 players. Scoring.
Yeah, I liked it for like when we did it in the last patron show where everybody played through round 1 and then the highest scores moved on from there. That makes sense to me.
Playoff style kind of thing. Yeah. Like that. Yeah.
Or like a teams edition, and then if both teammates get it, then they get 10 points. But if only one teammate gets it, then they get 5. Something along those lines.
I could right off the top of my head, right before we end, and it's something Eric Grebner said earlier about round robin or whatever. But if we had all the patrons that were willing to join us in one go, I think the windows would get smaller or whatever. But the point is, all whiteboards and not rounds, just songs. I think this is kind of what he meant anyway. Maybe I'm wrong, but you and I have curated a list of whatever songs, and you basically have like 3 lives. So you're allowed to miss one, but you lose a life. As soon as you've lost 3 lives, I don't know who keeps this up, you're out, you're gone, and we just whittle that down.
Yeah, if we've got like 10 people, this is going to get not impossible.
Not impossible, yeah. We'd probably have to recruit someone in to keep an eye on who's involved still. But yeah, I like that. I could see that being a thing, and you whittle it down, and you either end up with a winner, or I don't know how it would work. You wouldn't want like 3 people to go out at once and that'd be it. But we'd figure out from there. But yeah, if we had a big group of people playing all at once, and we could find a way to make it, you can't cheat. Yeah, I think that'd be fun. We'd have to figure that out. But yeah, I can see that happening.
Yeah, I think there is a limitation as to how many people can be backstage.
Yeah.
I think it's 8 people total.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. But still.
Yeah. So we could have shoot off rooms and people refereeing that. I don't know. We'd figure out, but yeah.
Yeah. But we it's not like this is happening next week, so we'd have time to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll think about that. All right, cool.
Yeah, thank you to everybody that tuned in, that sent in questions, comments, all that. To everybody watching live, we appreciate it. And to those listening afterwards, we hope you enjoyed.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, good to chat with you, Matt. And I'll see you at the next scheduled episode, whenever that is.
Should be next week. We already have the competitors lined up. So
nice, brilliant. All right, thanks everyone.
All right. We'll see you guys very soon with a regularly scheduled program. Stay safe out there. Adios.